We're living in a time of transformation that may rival any other time in human history. But we have got a huge problem. And that's the narrative around the biggest, most groundbreaking technologies that's driving all of this transformation.
It is a powerful new technology with
Some
extraordinary
say it's a
potential,
threat
but
to society.
I'm absolutely terrified of this.
How could it kill humans?
We have an entire generation of emerging technologies that could unlock levels of human flourishing that we can't even wrap our minds around. And that can be scary. It's okay to be afraid of the rapid pace of change, but how we respond really matters. Do we have a future marked by abundance, or do we live in a future wishing that we could only live in the world we used to have? The stakes can't be any higher. When Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1876, it wasn't wildly adopted the way that you may have thought. People were worried. They were worried that it would invade their privacy, that it would destroy human connection, that the electric waves would harm humans. Fast forward to the radio. People were worried that it would contribute to juvenile crime, that it would destroy literacy, that it would melt the kids' brains. And there's a similar story for photographs, the bicycle, automobiles, personal computers, cell phones, the autonomous elevator. New things are scary, especially when the technology is so powerful. But there's a real problem with the way that style of pessimism spreads throughout society, from the media to dinner time conversations, to conversations happening at the highest level of government. And it's bled into how we regulate. Let's just think about nuclear power.
Truly a discovery to change the world.
This is an extremely promising technology from the 40s and 50s.
This plant has a secure place in American history.
And yet we let pessimism lock it in its infancy. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission was an effort to save us from the dangers of nuclear power. And what it did is it has prohibited really any innovation in this space for the last 50 years. Not a single new technology has been brought to market since the Nuclear Regulatory Commission was put into place. But we can get this right. Very early on in the internet's development, the US federal government made a deliberate decision to take a light touch regulatory approach and let the private sector lead. The rest of the world chose a much different path. That's why the United States has been a leader in this space for the last 30 years. All of the most promising technologies that have come out of the internet are coming out of the United States. We're at a similar crossroads today. This rapid pace of change can be amazing. There are people working on geothermal energy, which could provide clean, abundant, and renewable energy just using the Earth's heat. There are people working on advancements in AI, which will transform the way we think about healthcare and education for billions of people. And then there's geoengineering, which could reverse the heating of our planet, and advancements in bioengineering that could make diseases obsolete. So not enough investment has been made in making sure we understand these technologies before they disrupt society. We started the Abundance Institute to create space for innovators and emerging technologies to grow and have a chance to reach their full potential. The worst time to be writing regulation is before society can understand new technology. So a key piece of this is getting in front of policymakers long before the technology does and work directly with them on emerging technologies that are 3 to 5 years out. Give them the tools to understand what the technology does, help them write better public policies and more targeted regulations that focus on real risk and embrace the potential benefits that these technologies can really have. We're starting with AI and energy because those two areas have the highest potential for impact in the near term and the highest risk for being misunderstood and stifled. As humans, we've evolved to be concerned about the unknown. Fear and anxiety are helpful emotions that keep us away from danger. But we've also developed other emotions and unique capabilities, like the ability to adapt, the ability to reason, to hope, to dream. And as a society, we need to make sure emotions like fear are balanced with rational thinking. So that's what we're trying to do at the Abundance Institute, is inject reason into the debate and make sure that we have a balanced approach to how we as a society respond to emerging transformative technologies. So we're bringing people together across the political spectrum to change the conversation from one of doom to measured optimism. For me as a dad, I have to believe in a future in which things are progressively getting better. And that hope is at the core of what we're doing. That not just the next generation, but successive generations continue to live in a world that is getting better every day. And that abundance isn't just something we dream about or talk about, but it's something that my children and future generations can live. Doing the wrong thing today, from a policy standpoint, is extremely detrimental. Some of the ground we lose, we may never gain back. So we're building a community of innovators and entrepreneurs, of philanthropists and venture capitalists, of academics and policymakers. We're building a community of people crazy enough to think they can change the world and bold enough to do it. And we invite you to join us.